Okay, we're going to start on a little update. I'm going to hook my winch here up on my Sawback, so take some of this off and see what I got to do to line her up and everything, and we'll get started. Okay, let me get some of this off. I'll be right back. Alright, what we're going to do first is on the bumper here, we're going to take these screws out of the back and take my little lights off and see how everything lines up, and see if I can do this without taking the bumper off, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Okay, we got the lights off, and I kind of like these fog lights, so what I'm thinking of doing is maybe mount them here on the fenders like that. Maybe a little further up, maybe a little further back. Haven't quite I might do it right there in the middle, and then wire them up also. Alright, but I guess first thing I need to do is figure out where this winch is going to go. It's hard to do with one hand, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to want it to sit like that. And I'm not going to really worry about the winch, centering the winch itself, but the plate, so that my fair lead will be in the middle. Alright, well, let me figure some of that out and I'll be right back. Okay, what I've done was I've taken the bottom plate off of this and untied the hook. So now I've got nothing but my winch plate, so I can stick this over, find the center, pre-drill these holes, and then mount the winch back on the plate, and then do all my funky turning trying to get this thing in the holes, which I know is going to suck. I have a feeling I would be better off if I take this bumper off, but I'm going to mark my holes and drill them first, so I got a spot that'll hold the weight and the bumper won't be turning, and then we'll remove the bumper and put the winch on. Alright, I'll be back in a second. Let me get these holes marked. Okay, what we've done, we drilled the holes in the bumper there. Then I went ahead and put the winch back together, put the plate back on. Now all the holes line up. Now it's just to fight to get the screws and everything to cooperate. So I'm going to give this a shot real quick and see if I can do it without taking the bumper off, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to, so we'll see. Alright, I'm going to set this on there. I'll be back in a second. Okay, this is where we're at so far. I've run into a little problem. I can't take my bumper off because that screw is right underneath the winch, and getting these screws in is coming quite troublesome. I'm not going to give up. It's going to be difficult, and I'll figure something out. But alright, well, let me get back at it and I'll see you in just a minute. Okay, we got the winch on, all mounted nice and tight, got the bumper. What I had to do was I took the bumper off and got the screws on the winch just started. That way I could still wiggle this back and forth, and then I was able to tilt it back far enough to put the bumper back on, and then get in there and tighten it up. They're real hard to get into them screws, but you know, you just got to take your time. A little aggravating at times. Now I'm getting my wiring back together. Takes a separate battery for the winch. I'm thinking of tying that in to the battery. I might solder it right into here, and cut this TAMA plug and just solder these wires right into the connector here, so it's already hooked up. Right now I got a separate battery just to see it work. And give me a second here. See if I can get an angle. Try and do this on my iPad so it's not cooperating, of course. Alright, give me just a second. Let me see if I can find a way to prop this up and I'll show you what it does. Okay. What we'll do is we'll switch my controller on. Turn on the Sawback. And we'll find us something heavy here. Maybe. Of course it doesn't want to cooperate, but anyway, we'll let the channel, let that out some. So I pull my third channel I got it set up, I pull it back to me, and the winch goes out. Then in the middle, of course, stops. And then wind it back up. I got the 4 PLS. The third switch is a little funky, but it works well. It's just hard to get it to stop directly in the middle. Sometimes it'll go past. So I'll just have to get used to that. But it's all working good, so I'll get her back together and I'll give you a final look and we'll see how it looks with the body and everything on it. Alright, give me just a second. Okay. There it is all back together. Everything looking good. Winch tucked in there very nice. Looks like it belongs. The fair lead is, whoa, excuse me, lined up right in the middle of my toe hitch, so that'll all be alright. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to take my lights and right here on the fender, I think I'm going to put them on the fender right there. I think that'll be a pretty cool look. I don't know, I might move them up, but I don't know, I'm thinking more in the middle there. Now the only thing I had to sacrifice excuse me, so far was that I took an old servo and I made it into a light switch where I could turn my headlights on and off. Well, my receiver in here is only a 3-channel, so what I'm going to do is get me a 4-channel so I can put my light switches back on, or I can turn my lights on and off so I don't have to run them during the day. But that'll be for another time. So this is it for right now. This is my winch, and I think it looks great. Okay, well, please comment, please subscribe, and thanks for watching.